We've all heard it, stretch to prevent injuries. But does being more flexible actually reduce your injury risk? On the surface, it seems like a simple yes or no. However, the body just isn't that simple. If you really want to understand injury prevention, we've got to go deeper than black and white claims that sound nice but rarely hold up. To really answer it, we need to break things down. What an injury actually is, what flexibility really means, and how to apply it in training. At its core, an injury happens when a tissue experiences a force that it can't handle. Get hit in the arm with a baseball bat, and your bone might shatter. Get hit with a pole noodle, nothing happens. The same principle applies to muscles and tendons. When the force exceeds what they can tolerate, the fibers are going to start to tear. So logically, anything that helps your muscles and tendons handle greater force reduces injury. The question becomes, where does flexibility fit in that picture? Contrary to popular belief, your muscles don't actually get longer. If that were true, you could stretch your way to being taller. What's really happening is your nervous system is learning that certain positions are safe. Let's look at a simple example, a hamstring stretch. At first, your leg only goes so far. Your body is saying, nope, that's risky. But stretch more consistently, and your body begins to trust that position. It stops fighting it. That's flexibility. Not longer muscles, but fewer internal brakes. If you kept pulling your leg back hard enough, eventually you would tear something, but gradually progress and your body adapts. 3 months later, the same position that was once viewed as dangerous is now completely normal. This is your body's own defense system at work, tightening up to protect you from danger. When your body has less internal resistance, it moves more freely. Think of a rubber band. Put it in the freezer, and it's stiff and harder to pull back, but brittle and easy to snap. Leave it in the sun, and it's soft and pliable, stretching without breaking. That's what flexibility does. It helps your body go with the force instead of fighting it. Sprinting is probably the best sporting example. Most hamstring pulls happen right after the foot leaves the ground. Your foot goes from in contact and pushing against the ground to quickly floating behind you. This causes the hamstring to rapidly lengthen. If your muscles are tight and resisting that stretch, you're far more likely to tear something. But if your body's comfortable in that position, the muscle, like the rubber band, just goes with the force. So yes, flexibility plays a small role in preventing injuries by reducing internal resistance. But the real protection comes when flexibility and strength work together. Being flexible just means you can get into a position. Being strong there means you can handle force in that position. And that's the real key. Flexibility alone might help you move better, but it doesn't mean your tissues can tolerate high forces. Injury prevention doesn't come from moving like a contortionist. It comes from building strength and control through the positions your sport demands. Think of flexibility as access and strength as mastery. Access lets you get there. Mastery keeps you safe once you're there. When you train both together, deep squats, full range RDLs, deficit push-ups, overhead pressing, you're not just stretching, you're reinforcing your tissue's ability to handle more load across a greater range. That's how you build durability that actually carries over to sport. If you want to see exactly how to build this kind of flexibility safely, I put together a free guide that walks you through it step by step. But in general, how can you apply this? Well, just keep it simple. Get to a solid baseline of flexibility. Then focus on building strength in those positions. Here are 4 key movements that I use to both test and train it. Full depth high bar back squats, RDLs where 45-pound plates touch the ground and you can keep a nice flat back, deficit push-ups to a 1.5 to 2 inch deficit, and overhead pressing where the bar is stacked over your shoulders. If you can't, start with the beginner flexibility routine in the card above, combined with training through as big a range of motion as you safely can. Utilize our free guide for a more direct plan of attack and some bonus videos to get you there quicker. Actually creating a good training program to do this is covered in our full Creating a Program series. Now putting this all together, injury risk isn't one thing, it's an equation. Load management, technique, flexibility, strength, and even things like recovery, nutrition, and sleep. Every factor adds up. Focus on doing the basics in these areas consistently and with intent, and you'll not only reduce injury risk, you'll perform at a higher level. There are no quick fixes or magic protocols, just showing up, doing what others skip, and doing it right. That's what builds resilience. That's what builds champions. Keep working, fix your weak links, and grab our free blueprint on flexibility below. Now go become everything you were meant to be.